So those of you who've been following me for a while know that I run an accidental agency. Accidental in that I didn't set out to build it, but here I am.
Wow, I didn't mean to.
But you may be asking why I was so hesitant to embrace the idea of building an agency in the first place. In today's video, I'm going to explain why, how the agency model is broken, and what I'm trying to do to change it. My name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. I've worked on the agency side, client side, as a consultant and as an entrepreneur building companies. Every time I've worked on the agency side, I've told myself
that I will never, ever do it again.
Why? Well, because agency life may sound sort of cool and sexy, but agencies themselves are terribly broken.
Listen, this is not what I wanted.
And how are they broken? Well, I can identify three major ways. Number one, the agency-client relationship is tense. Number two, the way that pitches and RFPs are set up lead to terrible under-researched strategies. And number three, there is no strategic continuity due to campaign-based thinking and warring agency partners. Let me explain them more in depth. So let's start with the agency-client relationship. With Truly Social, I've really tried to work closely with our clients as partners. We meet and talk frequently. We get invited to their Slack channels where possible. We spend time in their offices on a regular basis. I rarely or never saw this in my previous agency life, unless an agency placed a person at the client, but then that was sort of a different arrangement. Mostly, the way it worked was that the client would hand you a brief, then you'd go away with your team for a bunch of weeks, working on a plan, maybe calling them now and then show up one day and present the final creative. The client would then give sign-off or ask for revisions until it was done.
Show me what you got!
The problem with this is that you don't really get to know the day-to-day challenges that your client is facing. Inevitably, there is ongoing information and insights that can help you craft a better strategy. You can get to know multiple people from different departments to get all sorts of other insights too. We often don't know what we don't know, and the client assumes that we do know. Without the right information, we're left trying to read minds, which frankly rarely works out.
I'm not psychic, Annie. That's an illusion caused by extreme preparedness.
This breeds lack of trust, and lack of trust leads to more lack of trust. And the relationship, well, it starts to break down. What I teach everyone at TSI is that there is no such thing as too much communication when it comes to our clients.
Yeah, I want to talk to you. Good, I want to talk to you.
The more we open up, show up, ask questions, the more they tend to ask questions back, and the relationship, well, it gets more harmonious. Now for number two, that terrible RFP and pitch process. In traditional agency models, you get a request for proposal or RFP, and you're invited to pitch your agency against others, usually with a fully baked idea to tempt the client to pick you.
George Michael, you're choosing me. No, Mom.
I have no idea why this started in the first place, but it's an awful process. On the agency side, people are pulled together to sprint towards coming up with a pitch in a short amount of time, giving them no time for any real research or insights. They come together in a boardroom, go over the creative brief, and then start throwing out ideas until they all can agree on the best one. Then they work ungodly hours to pull together a pitch deck and some sort of demonstration of how those ideas will roll out. Then they pitch their idea against other agencies who have done the same thing, and the client picks their favorite, which is often not yours.
We're talking mass chaos and no one knows how to stop it.
This is ridiculous. First off, there are rarely, if ever, any real research or insights that go into those ideas. Nobody understands the audience or the real issues. Now sure, once in a blue moon, the idea actually hits its mark, but in my experience, the best ideas come years into an agency-client relationship when the audience is incredibly understood and the research has been done to pull those great insights. And secondly, this is what burns people out at agencies.
I'm out. I'm done with this.
You're not done, Roy.
Now, we don't pitch like that, and I hope I never have to. Part of our offering is a research and strategy phase. We get paid for the time that we spend to carefully get to know your audience and find insights to lead to the right strategy. I think it's a healthier model and leads to better projects. And number 3, for the final reason on how the agency model is broken, lack of continuity. We are now living in a social era where relationships rule, but most agencies are still living in that campaign to campaign era. The cycle feels like this for your audience. You hear nothing from the brand, then you see them everywhere, then silence again, repeat.
Strike, then disappear, and then start massing again.
Campaign thinking is decidedly antisocial, and we only do campaigns within a broader ongoing context of relationship building. The other continuity issue lies in the multiple agency model. Now, I'm all for hiring specialized agencies to get things right. Hell, we're specialized. But in most cases, those agencies are rarely, if ever, brought together to align and collaborate. Collaboration would ensure that everyone is working together towards the same strategic goal. I always request to interact and collaborate with the PR firm, the SEO firm, the ad agency, the web development agency, sales, customer service, and everyone else inside and outside of the organization who's working on a piece of that puzzle. This is a big challenge, I know, but if done, can lead to a totally harmonious strategy that would be much smarter.
Oh, happy 23 years working together!
Of course, there are other ways in which the agency model is broken, but these are the glaring ones that I work hard to address every day at TSI. If I'm going to end up as an agency owner for the rest of my life, at least it'll be on my own terms. I'd love to hear the ways in which you think the agency model is broken. I think we could have a lively discussion on that topic. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.